If you guys need any cards, packs, sleeves, anything of that nature, shop on TCG Player using my affiliate link in the description. If I wanted to play GOAT format, there's actually a whole ass rated section for that available on Dueling Book anytime I want. There is no format or version of Six Samurai whose gameplay style isn't just toxic and annoying in every way. In Edison, the deck's pretty bad because it doesn't have like all of its good support that comes out later. So you just have to pray you open like a lot of gateway or something. And yeah, if you can do that, you probably win against a lot of things. But if you can't, and usually you won't be able to, you're pretty much just going to be playing a terrible deck on it. And yeah, on top of that, deck's just not fun. If I wanted to play a deck like this, solo mode actually works perfectly fine, is a lot more efficient, and wastes a lot less of both of our times. Also, I would just play Dragon Turbo, I think. Yeah, that as well. Battery Men have like two really, really good cards in Microcell and Industrial Strength. Microcell is a great starter, Industrial Strength, great boss monster, but they're just like one set off from having the like level of support they need to be a coherent deck. In Shining Darkness, I think Shining Darkness, they get like some cool cards that would help them be more viable in Edison format. But unfortunately, you just end up trying to build a Battery Man deck around like two good cards with no sort of filler in there. And it just ends up being a good stuff pile. It's actually a bad stuff pile because you're playing Battery Men. So that's how it is. Dark Simorg is bad. Anti-Spell is bad. The Harpy Lady Field spell causes you to pop your own spell traps if there's not an opponent's one on the field. Also, Blackwings exist. Share if you play. So basically, the Edison errata of Necro Valley really sucks and doesn't stop most things, honestly. And yeah, you're also just, you end up playing this weird, like, Royal Tribute Hand Rip Turbo deck. Because your other cards just aren't good enough. And we don't have Recruiter yet, which is really important for the deck. We don't have Duality or Warning yet, which are also really important for the deck. So Gravekeepers just kind of suck, to be honest. The comments that I made about the Beast Down deck basically apply to this one as well. Same for the comments about the Arsenal Summoner deck, if you really think about it. And the Magical Merchant deck. Like, I'm just not going to play any deck in Edison format that runs a flip monster whose effect doesn't interact with the field or do something absolutely insane like Morphing Jar. You know, maybe Merchant is even better than like just Mask of Darkness and Arsenal Summoner. These cards are just so slow. Like, so slow. I don't know. Also, this one also reeks of being a Keegan build, I think. He probably had some mod control deck. I think I remember that, but I suppose just being a Keegan build isn't a reason not to play it, technically, so that would be unfair. However, I will choose not to play it because it's just like a GOAT format deck in Edison format, so yeah. What even is this? This looks like the deck that Randage built like a year ago because his ELO was like super high and climbed on a ladder and he wanted to tank it for like a video series. So in order to deliberately lose without like actually just straight up throwing games, which is probably against the rules, he just built like this really bad deck and lost a bunch of ELO. So yeah, I don't know if this is that list, but it definitely reminds me of that list. Actually, this kind of looks cool. Maybe I will play this. It's got Gear Town and Trade in it. Yeah, never mind. I'm playing this deck. Fitz sacked me a lot with X Sabers, and I'm still salty about it, and I don't like it because it hand rips and stuff. I just don't like dragons, and frankly, I would never ever draw Future Fusion, so yeah. About 6 months ago, I did a video on the channel called Having a Mental Breakdown While Trying to Resolve Veil of Darkness. It was a lot of fun. You should go watch it. Anyway, last time I tried to resolve Veil of Darkness, I had a mental breakdown, so we're not doing that again. Also, this is, let's be real, probably one of the worst Monster Mash builds out there. Yeah, you could definitely do much better things. I mean, Skull Servants are cool and all that. I'm not trying to shit on this deck. It's just like really weak compared to other Monster Mash strategies. I think the Merchant Mill aspect in particular is just so slow and vulnerable to stuff. But mostly it's prejudice because of the Veil of Darkness thing. If I wanted to sit in a room and do nothing for 30 minutes, I can do that whenever I want. Don't even need to log into Dueling Book. I just cannot be bothered to memorize the fish spreadsheet. If I played this deck against randos on DB, people would just leave. If I played it in solo mode, well, solo mode's probably about the correct way to do it. If I played in a tournament, though, I would get disqualified for slow playing. So that's probably the main reason I would never, ever attempt to play this deck. I said something about Six Samurai in this video, and, it might have upset people where I said that deck has a toxic playstyle, and always has. But truly, there is one absolute, indisputed king of the toxic playstyle of all time, and that is Dark World. Now, very much like Six Samurai, actually, now that I think about it, because this deck also doesn't have its, good support from, a year after Edison Format. But people still kind of try to play. I mean, not really. No one really tries to play this deck, but, there are builds out there, and this is one of them. Behold. I'm just not playing this because it's Dark World, and I hate Dark World, and everyone hates Dark World, and that's about all there is to it. So, yeah, any questions? I played this deck on the channel once, and it's, to this day, feels like the worst thing I've ever piloted. Worse than dinosaurs, even. Worse than every Neospatian jank thing. Worse than Zeta Reticuli. I just have an infinite list of things that I would rather play than this dumbass deck. Just protect the castle, floodgate, whatever. Yeah, and also stun is just bad in Edison, I think. Yeah, this deck topped. I'll say it did top, but I think stun is just very suboptimal as an approach to the meta. The meta decks in Edison Format are just highly unaffected by these stun strategies. I think Blackwings, Hero Beats, just do not give a shit whatsoever. Even frogs can play through it sometimes as well. So yeah, I just don't think it's the way to go. I've played this deck in three or four episodes of Clash of the Jank now, and I still have no clue how you're actually supposed to pilot it or win with it whatsoever. Maybe I'm just not smart enough, but the owner's seal whatever deck is just too big brain for me, I guess. Maybe it's just too bad. Also, that could also probably be it. Gadgets are really boring, really boring. This is about the most boring deck you could possibly imagine in Edison Format. Even worse than Hero Beat, honestly. At least Hero Beat it's kind of evolved. It plays divas, it plays miracles, it has big pushes. It's kind of interactive, much more so than Gadgets, I think. This kind of deck is really weird. It just feels like you either get to slow the game down and do your little game plan of with all the 1-for-1 removal, or you just don't and you lose and you get OTK'd, or your opponent draws Cyber Dragon ever and you feel bad. So yeah, this is kind of not really a good gadget list on the screen now. Now that I'm looking at it, Avarice, I do not think is the way. Pretty much all the builds should be playing Offering these days. And Hammer Shot, really? All right, I don't know where I found this one. Why is Salvo even in here? What is the synergy with Salvo de Koichi and this chaos, dim alch fader stuff that's being done? I just never understood it. Just play Chaos Fairy instead, honestly. This is probably just about the coolest Glad Beast deck out there. Shout out to Hydro Pump, but unfortunately, it is still technically a Glad Beast deck, and that's why I refuse to play it. The Kawaki Meru deck is one that lacks any kind of inherent synergy or game plan. The only thing the cards really have in common is that they like to commit suicide if a certain set of conditions aren't met. Guardian's a really good card and all, but otherwise you just end up playing this weird beast beatdown thing with Urnite. And Urnite's a good card, but there's nothing to do with it. We don't have Exceeds yet. Some builds play Solidarity, but yeah, I don't know. It would be a lot better if you didn't just need to always have Iron Core in your hand or whatever it is. Even the traps don't work if you don't have it. I don't know. It's just garbage. This is a real cool one from back in the day, but unfortunately, it's just terrible. I mean, why would you want to play both Airbellum and Flamvel Magician in the same deck? You're just going to be drawing all of them, all of the garnets, and you're going to hate yourself. So, it's sad, but that's how it is. My teammates have become obsessed with trying to put Hamster Raikou and Diva Hero, and I just don't really get it. Like, just play malicious and play targeted milling. Don't play this random milling thing. And yeah, that's about all there is to my reasoning on that one. Rituals are bad in Edison, and Garlandorf is just about the worst one you could build a deck around, I think. Relinquish should be better. Heck, Demise is probably better. Even like the Ruin Ritual Fairy build is probably better. Yeah, I don't really know why people think Garlandorf is the way to go. Also, this looks like a dragon deck, which I already talked about these. I'm way too unlucky to play dragons. That's just how it is. And the back row is 2 Phoenix Wing. This looks like a Keegan deck. Is that what's going on here? Did Keegan build this? It's Burn. I tried so hard to make Arsenal Summoner work, and the deck is really cool and all, but unfortunately, if this card was like a Stratos, it would be so good. It would be so good, but it's a flip effect. You have to like set it just to flip it up and search something, and it's just like, man, why is it so slow? Why is it so bad? But yeah, sometimes things are just tragic like that. Add Diva Hero Frog to the list of decks that I've like tried to force to work and just like failed epically. You would think, oh, maybe it's like takes the good aspects of both and puts it together, but no, it just sucks. I don't know why exactly. I can't put my finger on it, but for some reason Diva Hero Frog just doesn't work out. It's like the worst of both worlds or something. So assault mode is kind of just like a gimmicky borderline FTK OTK kind of I'll say degenerate strategy, but what honestly really bothers me about it is just losing to random like side deck cards and matchups. Obviously you can like smoke screen with this deck, but at this point like everyone already knows and expects that, and yeah, you just like run into Gladiator Beast or Fairy, and the game is over. That's just something that really bothers me about playing this type of deck, where it's just like if you play that one guy at the tournament, I guess sucks to be you. But I don't really like the assault mode game plan anyway. It's kind of unfun to me. What is wrong with you? You need serious mental help. Please stop this. What is this? Look at this. The brain control is like in the middle of the upstart goblins. You have to be trolling. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Furthermore, if you enjoy my content, you should think about becoming a channel member. You get access to tons of bonus content, and it's a great way to help support the channel.